Heya party people, Watto here, and welcome to episode 2 of Drawing from Null. This time we're working on shading and lighting. I have a really bad habit of only doing sketches and line art on my drawings and stopping there. Wait, I'm doing it again, aren't I? There we go. I usually don't shade, and I especially don't color, but that's a video and a problem for another day. I am always intimidated thinking I'll mess up my drawing if I start shading, which is a problem I intend to fix. Let's start from the top by practicing making gradient tables. I found out that many shading tutorials have you start with this to get you used to different values of shading. The goal is to gradually go from the darkest value to the lightest value, so let me know how I did. Now that we have a feel for different gradients, time to move on to actually shading an object. So let's just start out by shading in some spheres with different shading techniques. I mostly want to focus on 3 different shading techniques, which are hatching, cross-hatching, and blending. Now that the stage is set, I just need to add a little light source on everything. Let's just make it a sun to brighten things up a little. Just give the sun a little happy face. Nice. Almost looks like the sun from Teletubbies. Just kidding. We'll act like the light source is coming from the corner and go from there. We'll start with the hatch method of shading on the sphere, which is shading using lines going in the same direction. Oof, looks rough. I think that's because I was rushing through the technique and not being thoughtful when placing lines parallel to each other. But let's move on to cross-hatching for now. Cross-hatching is almost the same as hatching, but as the name suggests, you use intersecting strokes to cross the lines to give more value to the object. Looks slightly better than my attempt at regular hatching, but for now, let's move on to blending. Blending is, you guessed it, blending the marks together using something like a tissue to get a smoother transition in values. Now that we have the general idea down, let's practice each technique with some more shapes. We will assume the light source is coming from the top left of the shape, like so. Cool beans. I think I have a basic, and I mean basic, understanding of each technique now. So it's time to move on to something more complex. With an obligatory book throwdown out the way, let's get shady. Since this is an episode dedicated to just shading, we will use a coloring book. That way, we can focus solely on shading. And today we will be shading Shinobu from Demon Slayer. So let's get started. And there are the results. Hit that like button if you like Demon Slayer. It's one of my favorites just from the animation alone. I also got this coloring book with super cute animals too! I expect fur and the background to be much more difficult, but we will give it a go. And there we have it. Finally got my foot in the door when it comes to shading. It's still looking really rough right now, but as with everything, it will come with time as long as I keep practicing. And practice, I will. Next, we'll be working on what I dread the most. Color theory, and coloring with different mediums. I am, however, super excited for the next episode and hope you will join me to watch me fail. Till we meet again, stay true with a touch of you. Why does everything have to be so shady? You're shady. You're shady. You hella shady. Are you shady?